Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
nice long weekend.
We're good.
Oh yeah, that was gorgeous. I was in
Nice to
Richmond.
have that
Where
extra
was
day.
Oh,
everyone else?
wow. Fab. I was in my garden.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I saw some lovely pictures on Facebook, Nicola.
Yes, in my garden. Yes, and I'm not sure because I don't know if you've got it. Is there a Greg's in London? I'm not sure.
Is there what?
Greg's in London.
Yes,
Yes.
we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
we
yeah.
have
Okay.
Greg's.
So you're cultured.
Where are you based, Nicola?
I'm based in the northeast, so I'm up in Newcastle.
Ah, okay.
And it was I mean, I'm not a Greg's avid, devouter or stuff, but I do like my Greg's. But we have children we call up here called the Greg's children, who you can tell eat Greg's every day and
Wow.
7 days a week.
Oh my.
Is it a real part of the culture then? Is it real integrated in the?
Yeah, it is. Greg's is kind of it is. It's a bit like Greg's is probably our
Was it a Starbucks thing? Like
Oh my
Starbucks?
goodness.
Yeah, it's like that. It is, but I was sitting in the park and I was having a Greg's and I had a vegan sausage roll as well. I didn't share that bit.
Wow.
Just so you all know, we are now live streaming on Facebook, and and everything you say is being recorded for for training and marketing purposes. You can sell this to Greg's.
And blackmailing purposes.
Oh my God, it was Greg's in there.
Free advertising for them.
Yeah.
Free advertising.
Advertising and coffees.
By the way, Ariane, can I just say I find this really helpful. I mean, I know we're learning stuff and you're kind of showing us stuff, but actually to be honest, for me, the biggest thing I'm finding is the fact that I'm watching you and how you run your group.
Yes.
That's actually really an even more subtle way of me learning.
Anywhere I can help, I'm happy. So I'm pleased to hear that.
Yeah, it's all going in.
Talking of which, I'm going to dive straight in because I have to leave at 2:30. I have another meeting straight after that. So let me just mute everyone while I go through a few things. There were two things I wanted to share. So let me share my screen with you. Okay, so yes, so last week I sent out 2 lots of emails. The first one was the day after the session we had on Tuesday, which is the email that you can see here. Well done, everyone, yesterday. I hope you learned loads. It was about straight after the Facebook group organic outreach. I know that everyone's very busy with loads of different things, so I'm reminding what it was about. I think, Nicola, you couldn't join us. This is what we covered. I have attached in the email the video replay that you can have a look at, for example, Nicola, if you want to. And what I had asked you to focus on last week up to today is task 1, 2, and 3, which were, if you remember, joining 3 Facebook groups and trying out to have engaging conversations. There was more, but I don't have the document just at hand. So that was the first email I sent out the following day. I sent a following email, I think the day after that, which was labeled example. And I was saying, here is an example of the flow of organic conversation. And so it was one, I explained, I gave an exact example of conversation, all the things that we talked about on Tuesday. And I have attached to the bottom of the email the exact conversation to which I responded. So it was a mom in business asking about her handmade cards. And straight away, I responded back to her. And here I have shared in that email my response to her. So you can see I took the time to actually respond back So that was my response on the group. And below there, I had attached, as I had discussed with you all, a link to an article that I had written that was giving more details on what I was just saying as my answer. And what is very good is the response that I got. So if I go back, you can see the link to my article or blog is called "Worried About Not Being Liked, Think Again." And if you see the response, it's at the top there, worried about not being liked, think again. So the response was really good. The lady said, "I'm going to read your article tomorrow with a fresh head. There's a lot of to take in. I'll be sure to come back with you with questions." So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about engagement and connection. So it's not just simply dropping a link and going. It's really engaging in a conversation. And not only that, I was saying that, as you can see here, my answer to her was read by more than herself. So it was read here in this example, it was read by 5 other people, which I didn't tag or which I didn't intend to share with, but yet they appreciated my answer to her. So this is an example of what I covered on Tuesday. One last question, one question I have for everyone. As I was reviewing the email that I sent after Tuesday session last week, I couldn't find the attachment of the actual document that you can see here. Did you get it, or should I resend it? Would it be helpful? Please let me know if you haven't got it. Please let me know later if you want the actual document, or if you don't need it, if you're okay, that's absolutely fine. Just message me separately, okay? So we are now, let me stop sharing this. And if you can unmute yourselves, please. So before I start with this week's task, which is a continuation of what we covered last week, today we're focusing more on the actual social media post types. And it's a very short one. We'll finish exactly at 2:30. Before we do that, I would like to know if there's any of you, Praveen, Nina, Vivian, or Nicola, if you'd like to share your experience. Have you tried what we covered last week? Were you blocked in some way? Do you have any question? And who wants to share anything?
Right, okay.
Okay,
I always like to, you know me. Yeah, I mean, when I sort of, anybody asks me for any advice, especially on the styling part, I always try to we go either via private messenger where I give them a bit more detail, or I try and answer the question in my business page. But sometimes I've overly shared information to help them, which has ended up being a very contradict the fact that I'm trying to obviously help someone and get business at the same time. I've had to claw that back and learn the hard way that not to give too much, but give enough that gives the person what they need. So yeah, that's one of the things I've learned.
And that's a really good point, Nicola. So if you refer back to the example that I shared just now, or in the email, you can see that I have shared some recommendation, but I haven't given my whole step-by-step. I've just, so you're giving a little bit. Don't be shy to give, but don't overgive, just like you were sharing, Nicola. Thank you very much for sharing that. That's really a really important point. So you can invite them to read an article in your blog that you have written on the subject. You can invite them to have a more in-depth conversation. Remember, don't invite them straight away to your group or to book an appointment with you. It takes time, okay? Everything takes time. What else? Any question or anything at all in regards to last week. It could be about your profile, your Facebook page. Any questions so far?
Just that I'm still taking on board more reviews, which is great. I'm working out how to get a rating. So I think I need more reviews, and then I think you get a rating. I think that's how it works, because it still hasn't given me a rating yet, if you know what I mean.
I think so. It might be something new, probably, Praveen. It makes sense in a similar way as on Trustpilot. You get an average of the reviews you're getting.
Yeah. But that's been very helpful. I had someone, I had Cheryl, who some of you may know. She came and did my one of my classes, and so she's in the middle of writing reviews. So I'm still keeping that process. You know, you keep feeding people in, so that's still coming. So that's great. I mean, every week is week 1, 2, and 3 are all very. I'm still doing all of the things, if that makes sense. I'm not haven't moved from week 1 to week 2 to week 3. Everything is still relevant.
You're absolutely right, Praveen. That's absolutely correct. That's the right thing to do. It's an ongoing process. So it's not because we're finished with week 1 that it's over. It's an ongoing process. We're just adding more knowledge, more things that we're moving on forward with. So really well done, Praveen. Thank you for Nina. I've just got yours today. Thank you very much. So yes, it's really ongoing. Anyone, anything else with any of the things that?
So I wasn't there last week, but I listened to the recording, which was really useful. And so I've joined a few groups, but it comes up on my Facebook page. It comes up as suggested groups, and so I picked a couple of those local groups. But how do I couldn't see where to search local groups. Or
so what you would do, there's a function on Facebook. Let me see if I can share. So if you go to your Facebook, can you see my Facebook here?
Yeah. So you're in your personal,
personal, yes, personal, and you could look for. I'm just taking an example. Women. So women. When I type it up, and it will come up. Suggestions will come up.
Just in the search. So literally, I just go in the search button and just search.
In the search button, then
any groups. Okay.
And I would say, just as we covered it previously. Don't just pick anyone. Make sure that they're large enough. Anything over 1,000 members is something to look into. And then as you will see, you need to request. Let me go back. So you need to request to join. Once you find something that a group that you're interested in, you need to request to join, and they will prompt you with questions. They will share the rules of the group. Make sure you answer those. I automatically refuse anyone who does not take the time to answer the questions.
Yeah.
Automatically they're refused. So make sure you do answer the questions. Sorry. Sorry, it's Caris. Praveen, do me a favor. Can you message Caris the meeting ID, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. So we can carry on. So this is
the art of delegation you're demonstrating there.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
That's next week's.
Next week's one. So this is to answer your question, Nina.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yep. Fabulous. Okay, let's move on to this week because we have 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left.
Oh my God.
If you do have any questions that we are unable to cover today, please make note of it. Okay, please make note of it, and you can message them in our group on Facebook or direct message me. That's absolutely fine. So very simple task today. You'll be glad to know. No, that's not what I wanted to share. Wrong screen. Google, here we go. So So what we are focusing on, if I can get this. Okay.
Are you in Canva right now? Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And we are actually going to cover this.
Oh, God, I love Canva.
Yes. So Facebook, type of Facebook post. This is what we're covering this week. Very simple. I kept it very light this week because as you realized all, we are constantly working on everything that we covered already. I'm just wondering if Caris is trying to get in. No. I haven't seen her yet. Oh, here she is knocking at the door. Caris, yes. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. Hello, Caris. She's going to be with us shortly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's an example of 4 different. Oh, I forgot the E at Facebook. Facebook post. Okay. This is how quickly I design my work and my post. And this is what I'm going to ask you to look into in task 1 this week. So task 1, in order to design your social media post, hello, Caris. Okay. You could use something such as the one I'm using, which is Canva, canva.com. There's another one which I've discovered recently called Crello.com, all CC's, quite short names. Check those out. I absolutely love Canva. Nicola, you seem.
Oh God, Canva's. I think out of everything, Canva's the easiest to use.
Have you checked?
Fantastic. What was the name of the other one? Sorry.
It's here, Crello.
Oh, Crello. Lovely. Thank you.
Crello. So those are 2 tools that I do recommend, but there's plenty other ones out there. The reason I recommend Canva is because, as you mentioned, Nicola, it's very easy to use, and I just showed you just now how easy it is to use it. I am on Canva right now.
Is it free? I thought it was paying.
You have a free version, and there are limitations, obviously, in some of the things that you can use or not in terms of pictures, but I started with a free version for a year using Canva. So definitely worth looking into. Check out Crello or some other one. So this is your task number 1 for next week. I will be interested to know what you have decided to work with. It might be something else. There's always new things coming up. So please do share next week with every one of us. Task number 2, I'm going to ask you to try out the tool that you have, the design tool that you have selected. And I'm going to ask you to design a social media post of each type, which brings me to this. So those are examples of social media posts that you can create. You can create a lifestyle post, entertaining post, promotional post, or educational post. So let's run through that very quickly. So lifestyle post could be anything that is somehow related loosely or vaguely to your business, but is more lifestyle related. For example, when I shared I was having a healthy snack while I was working on my upcoming workshop, for example. So it's loosely linked to my business. So that would go into the lifestyle Facebook post because I still somehow link it to my business. I would definitely not share personal things as you want to keep it professional, but it doesn't mean that some of the things that you do can't be shared. So I would not do night outs. I would not share I would share hobbies because it's part of, especially if you are in the wellness business, it's very much linked to what you do. Facebook post type number 2, entertaining humor. If you like humor, you can add sprinkles of humor posts, and they don't have to be yours. You can reshare those. For example, make sure that you mention where you got the post or who created that post. It's very important. Promotional posts. So this is all about your business. What classes do you have going on? What events do you have coming up? So again, you have to have a balance of all those. It could also be reviews, testimonials. Those go into promotion because you are promoting really your business. And the last one would be educational. So sharing tips. In my case, I share business tips on regular basis online through my social media. And you could do exactly the same. I'm taking as an example, Nicola. It could be a tip to look taller with your clothes. One couple of tips maybe. I'm thinking Praveen, it could be what to wear to feel comfortable while attending your meditation classes, or how to set up your environment. Yes.
Do you have a suggestion with, like, is it like, would you do it once a week, something like that?
So it's a mix, really. It's a mix, and we will cover that in one of the following weeks. But to start with, because I don't want to overwhelm you with information today, what I would like you to do is, number one, investigate the design tools and select one that is convenient or feels right for you. And number two is, I would like you to start designing to practice and to use the tool, one post of each, just as a practice, before we move on with how many of which. Is that okay, Praveen?
Oh yeah, sorry, it's just still.
You're far ahead.
Yeah, my mind's gone off on one. I'm dwelling on what you're saying.
It's all good. It's all good. So this is all you have to educational tips. What sort of tips? It can also be articles. Okay, you're educating your audience through sharing articles of value. So those would go into educational. Okay. So that's it. This is what we have for this week, because we keep it light and short this week. We are still working on the rest of what we have covered. So task 1, check it out. Check canva.com, Crello.com. I should really get a referral commission for this. And task 2, I'm the only one laughing here.
I've laughed.
People are going to think, my goodness, she's money orientated, but hey, yes. Task 2 is try out and design one of each. Let me remove this. Woo. So I know that I was trying to put a lot of previous weeks and this week's together in this short 30 minutes session today. But as I mentioned before, if you can't think of anything to ask right now, please make a note and do get in touch later. The floor is now open for your questions. We have a few minutes for questions, anyone?
I already have kind of, I'm quite fortunate because I've already done some of the stuff you're suggesting. But to answer Praveen's question, if that's okay, what I try and do, sometimes I don't, I'm human and I don't always, is I try and post on certain days. So it's like Monday might be a day of selling, Wednesday might be about Wardrobe Wednesday, Friday might be like something to make you feel more positive. Try and keep away from Saturday, and then I do something quite like, might do something soulful on a Sunday, but it's all relevant. to kind of what I do. But I do that because that works better for me. So I'm not posting every day because I would get bored. So if I get bored, people would get bored. I think then people can look forward to Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays. And that makes sense to me. So that hopefully that answers your question.
That's nice. You've got a nice structure.
Yeah, well,
So
sometimes.
We will cover this in more details. Thank you, Nicola, for giving a preview.
I thought I've done it as well. You did it earlier and it's my turn.
No, I would
answer next week's question.
Yeah.
no, I do appreciate. So that's to give you a preview, but please, I'm really conscious that there's a lot of things that has been covered so far. That's still a lot of things are being currently worked on. You need to keep it simple. Nicola, you're ahead of everyone. Well done. Everyone is at different stages, and that's absolutely fine. And this is why this week I want to keep it simple. One thing, task 1, task 2. And if you complete this task 1 and 2 by next week, then you'll be ready to move on with what we're going to cover the following week.
Brilliant.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Thank you.
If anybody needs any help, because I'm quite familiar with Canva, please message me and I can help you if you need any help as well. So, but just to say quickly, Ariane, I may be a little bit more ahead, but that's just because I've been in business a bit longer. But at the same time, I've learned so much from all you guys listening to you and stuff, and it really kind of makes me feel quite motivated as well up here in Newcastle. So just to say thank you, and I learn all the time.
Well done.
We learned about Greg's.
I'll bring up Greg's next time.
Okay, so thanks for sharing, Nicola. Caris, we didn't hear you. Hello, Caris.
Hi. On my phone, I used the link in the email that I got, and it was obviously the wrong link. Sorry about that. But I was actually listening to you guys on Facebook Live.
Well done.
Can I just say, I've been using Canva for some time, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. But the free version I found good but frustrating, because if I wanted to download something that was decent quality to use, like logos and things, I've designed a few logos for people, and designed my own logo for my brand. And I really needed to upgrade to business, and it's only £10.51 a month.
Yes.
And it's worth every penny, I think. It's I haven't actually tried Crello, but Canva is fantastic. Yes.
I agree, Caris. As I mentioned earlier, it has its limitation on the free version. I am on the paid version as well, but what I would say is, when you are starting, you don't want to get into paying for everything. All those little charges add up. So while you are learning, while you're starting with your social media posts, please keep it simple at the beginning. Once you feel comfortable and you feel, just like Carrie said, that you are being limited, then it's probably time to invest into an upgrade. Absolutely.
When you invest, you actually can actually try a trial period. I think it's 14 days.
Oh, is it? I can't remember now.
And then you can you trial it for 14 days, and then you can cancel, so you can have a little sort of take and play with it.
Good.
Yes, that's what I've done, but then you forget after 14 days and it automatically charges you.
I have automated
as well.
Yeah, I didn't have automated. I do pay for for it now. I didn't originally.
Be careful with those things. This is all we have time for today.
Oh, no.
Yes, as I have another meeting.
Nice.
So please, if you have any questions that we didn't cover right now, please do feel free to message them. We are on, for the ladies, in the group, for the ladies, we are on with the Gaia Network and online networking meeting tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. So please do join along. Caris, you're very welcome. I'm sorry, Praveen.
Yes.
Unless you wear a skirt. I'll share.
You just wear a wig.
Or a wig. You can't see the skirt.
we are still on Friday. So if you want to come and chat and share about your business, share about your progress, it's a great occasion to promote yourself indirectly. So you're not on sales mode, we're having a conversation. I know that Nina had an offer to share with us all here. Nina?
Thank you. Just quickly, yes. On Monday, I think that's the 1st of June. I just wanted to open up a group mindfulness session I'm doing for this group particularly. It's free of charge for the first one. I do a lot of one-to-ones. I've done a lot of group sessions live, and I'm just kind of getting into online. So I'd love you all to kind of come and give feedback, really. I can't do evenings very easily, but I'll send you a message anyway. But I was just wondering, does 12:30 work for you guys at all? I know you all work during the day, so as a sort of little lunch break, just relaxation session.
Yeah, which day is that?
Next Monday, basically the 1st.
Monday.
Yeah, okay. I'll be in the shop. I've opened up the shop again in Richmond, but if it's not busy, then I'll put some time.
Yeah, if you can, it's literally, if you've got half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour, it'll be, so it's more of a sort of pop in, relax for, you know, your little lunch break. Then I'll start doing one, maybe an late afternoon one, and I'm just trying out different times and seeing how it works.
Lunch breaks works perfect for me, especially on a Monday where it's super busy. And it will force me to take a break. So thank you.
So next Monday, 12:30, mindfulness with Nina, and I'll send you a message on the. It'd be lovely to see you all.
Can I just mention tonight, Ariane? I'll see you tonight.
Yes.
Nina, unfortunately, you won't be.
I can't make it tonight, no, but I'll be there. It tends to be every other week.
Nina did the meditation last week, by the way. It was fantastic. Just to give a bit of fun.
Thank you. Probably we must get reviews for each other as well. Actually, I'm very happy to do one for you.
Lovely, thank you.
Praveen, intuition healer. Nina, mindful you. Vivian, without medication. I'm loving it. Nick,
I had someone give me feedback. I had someone say they really liked it and wanted to know how to do
Paris,
it.
And the talks with Zine Queen, and haven't
you not found it.
For next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Take care, everyone. Bye, Vivian. Bye.
Bye.